Well, good morning and welcome to the Pacific Crest Trail. I am very excited. I hope you guys are too. It feels like just last week I was on the Arizona Trail, when in reality it was 9 days ago, so technically more than a week. It's day one and I haven't made excessive plans yet because they always change. The current agenda, at least, is 26 miles today to Boulder Oaks Campground, which is a campground that No Way and I stopped at when we did our bikepacking trip back in December from Phoenix to San Diego. It's a great little camp spot, insanely good bathrooms. Caretaker was incredible, just a cool spot. That's 26 into the day. And then tomorrow I want to do about the same. Both days also have stops at the 20-mile mark today. We will be coming to the Lake Morena malt shop. So I'll be getting a milkshake for lunch. I know it doesn't look like I want that. It's cold, it's gray, it rained on us last night, but that is gonna be great. It's a milkshake. I'm gonna be hiking. I want a milkshake. Tomorrow, I'll be hitting Mount Laguna at the 40-mile mark. So that'll be another place to stop for lunch, get a quick resupply, and then push. Like I said, hopefully another 26, 27 miles, leaving me mid-20s into Julian, day 3. That's as far as I've planned. That's 77 miles in 3 days. That's the goal for now. So, after a long day of travel yesterday, I arrived at the southern terminus, where I got to play around on the monument, get my picture taken, and then I strolled over to the Camp Lockett Event and Equestrian Facility, more commonly known as CLEEF. They have a campground there, run by Just Paul and One Speed, who also run the shuttle that came and picked me up from San Diego, along with 11 other people. Great place. They have a nice chill seating area. They have a great space for everyone to set up their tents and camp out the night before they start. They gave a real cool fireside chat last night. Not really directed at those of us who have experience, but most of us didn't. There was, out of the 20-ish people that were there, probably 5 of us had experience. It was a very useful, very well put together, well thought out little briefing. Then this morning, they made us pancakes and coffee, and there was a bunch of other stuff, but I just took the pancakes, scarfed those down, and got out of there. All right, it's 9:30, about 10 miles in, and I am happy to report that I don't think my week off had a negative effect on me. Everything feels really good. Still feeling really strong and fast. As far as my week off, I guess I never really filled you guys in between AZT Northern Terminus and PCT Southern. We camped at the State Line Campground after finishing the AZT. The next morning, we dropped Jolly off just into Utah, and miraculously, within 15 to 20 minutes, he got a hitch all the way home, which is the northern border of Utah. So that was just awesome. The rest of us went to Flagstaff, and then Smiles and I caught a bus back to Phoenix, where I let him crash at my house for a couple of days, and then he headed to San Diego. And I took a trip with my buddies to Vegas for the weekend. So I spent Friday on a bus, Friday night in Vegas, Saturday in Vegas, and then Sunday morning yesterday, got out bright and early, got on a plane, and got down here. So it has been a whirlwind of a week. But I will tell you right now, I am so happy to be back out here. I've been seeing these weird orange fibers on a bunch of plants. At first, I just thought it was a really cool looking plant. But hold on. That's cool. But the more I look at the orange fibers, the more I'm thinking that it's not a cool plant. It's probably invasive or some kind of symbiotic relationship going on. I don't know what it is, but it still looks cool. So it looks like we're heading there and there. And you can just kind of see it go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Same climb, different angle. Gross. All right, about a mile from milkshakes, or a milkshake, which is great. I considered stopping here for the night. This was my original plan, but I mean, admittedly, I'm fatigued. My feet hurt, and I'm tired. But it is 12:12. So, nope. If I get a milkshake and just take a 2-hour little break, I'm sure I'll feel fine to push out the last 6 miles. Well, in typical Sonic fashion, I ate 90% of the meal that I ordered and got insanely full. So no milkshake. It's a sad day. All right, admittedly, 26 miles on the first day might not have been the best decision. I mean, it's fine. I'm gonna get there before 4 o'clock. But boy, are my feet sore. I guess that's one thing that tried to heal itself during my week off. Well, they're not happy. Good morning. It's raining. I'm gonna record more when it stops. Well, I'm about 2.5 hours in and it's only getting colder, windier, and wetter. Even though, randomly, as I said that, can't really tell, but... Ooh, a rainbow. Can you see that? You can. Dope. Maybe it's starting to break through. Well, 15 miles of cold, rainy uphill is definitely one way to start the day. However, I am now at Mount Laguna, and less than a quarter mile from me is a cafe where I can go inside, get warm, get dry, and have a nice hot coffee. Well, thank you, Pine House, for allowing me to get mostly dry and mostly warm. Sat in there for like an hour and a half. Now I have 15 more cold miles to do. I think the rain's done, but it's freaking cold. It's like 40 degrees. It's uncomfortable. This is so much better. Cruisy terrain, no rain. Temperature, I mean, it's cold, but it's cold enough that I can have my puffy and fleece on. So one thing I didn't mention about today, the reason I have to do 30 miles is because there's a camping restriction around Mount Laguna. So my options were to camp 14 miles into my day. Nope. There was then a campground like a mile past that, so 15 miles into my day. Nope. There's another campground at like 21. And then the camping restriction is lifted at like 28. I guess the good news is it's gonna make tomorrow's day into Julian that much easier. Every mile I do today is one less I gotta do tomorrow. So, take it as it comes. With this weather and how I'm feeling right now, I don't think 30 is gonna be a problem. I feel really good. This terrain is really smooth. Well, the sun was finally able to crack through, but boy, did the wind come with it. Takeaways from today. Wind and rain are annoying. That should not come as a surprise to anyone. Cold weather is great for hiking. Also not a surprise. A week off will make day one miserable. Preparation pays off. Biscuits and gravy are a phenomenal breakfast / brunch. Again, not really a surprise. Honestly, the only takeaway is the fact that I'm feeling a lot better today than I was yesterday. All right, out of the restricted camping zone. Got water. So now it's just hiking until I feel like being done. This has just been an insanely gorgeous afternoon. Now that the clouds lifted, you can just see forever from up here. It's gorgeous. The last hill, there were memorials, like tons of them all up the mountain for like a half-mile stretch. I should look into why, but it was cool. Well, there were people setting up tents at both tent sites at the 30-mile mark. So now I push on. There's supposed to be a whole bunch of spots around 34 miles, which I should get to at like 6:30, which is still perfectly fine. This'll work. Well, this is a problem. I got a hole in my right sock, which you wouldn't think much of, except just yesterday I found a hole in my other right sock. I'm on day 2, and I have 2 socks with holes in them. 3 holes. 2 days. This is how I feel about that. Well, good morning from day 3. I'm actually dressed way warmer than I need to be right now because it's quite comfortable. But last night was not. It was cold, cold, cold. I woke up to the inside of my tent absolutely covered in condensation. My sleeping bag is soaking wet. Every wall of my tent is soaking wet. So here's a little science lesson for you. When you have a container, i.e. a tent or a glass, and the outside temperature and inside temperatures are vastly different, condensation happens. Now it always happens on the warmer side. That's why you see it on the outside of your glass. Unfortunately, my hot breath, well, fortunately and unfortunately, heats up the inside of the tent. So yeah, soaking wet. However, when I got out of my tent to roll it up and pack it up, it was covered in frost, which made my hands painfully cold when I was trying to pack it up. But here we are. And now we're walking. We got 17.5 miles into Julian, where I have a present waiting from Jolly and a hotel to sleep in, a shower to get, hopefully some laundry to do, and an outfitter to buy new socks. Well, once again, water becomes a problem. The only water source between here and Scissors Crossing, which is 10 miles away, and that is where I'm going to hitch into Julian. But the only water between here and there is a mile off trail. I'm not going to do that. So I have about a half liter to get me 10 miles. Not a ton to show today so far. It's been basically just kind of walking around this valley out here all morning. As you just saw, I tripped. That's probably the 15th time today that I've tripped that hard. It's been annoying. The trail is very rocky, very overgrown. Just not fun to walk on. The last hour or so, I spent just with a cliff to the left side and overgrown bushes to the right. So it was just annoying. And then I finally made my way down to the bottom of the valley to be slapped in the face with a climb right back to the top of the mountain. Water situation has not improved, obviously. Maybe even worse. I've got like 5.5 miles left. Maybe 2 ounces of water. Sucks. I'm thirsty. But what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna die. It's just gonna be a thirsty, uncomfortable couple of hours. Well, my pace has fallen off a cliff. Turns out, when you're really, really thirsty,
you can't hike fast. 2.5 miles to go. I'm so glad this last 2 miles has been flat. I mean, you can see there, flat as can be. I have 1 mile to go until a purported water cache, and then like 0.2 from there to Scissors Crossing. If there's a water cache, I'm gonna be very happy. If not, then whatever, it's a little bit more to the road. Well, that's a negative on the water. Unfortunate.
All right, time to see if I can hitch. Well, as soon as I stopped recording that, I took my pack off, turned, there was a car coming, I put my thumb up, and he pulled over. So hitchhiking, 1, complete, easy, awesome. I checked into the hotel I'm staying at. Can't get into the room until like 3 o'clock, but I checked in. And then I went down to a diner, had a burger, and then I came and picked up my package from the post office, and now I'm gonna go just sit and relax for a bit. I also went to the gear shop and bought 2 new pairs of socks, so that too. All the chores are done. Well, good morning from day 4. Had a great stay in Julian last night. After I was able to check into my room, I sat there for a little bit, did a bunch of editing. Then I walked over to Mom's, got free pie, free ice cream, and free lemonade. Thanks, Moms. After that, I went back to the room for another hour or so, and then just decided I didn't want to sit in the room all day. So I went out looking for more hikers, and I found some. I went to the Julian Beer Company, ordered a pizza, and Jenna walked in. She doesn't have a show name yet, but luckily for me, she's a extrovert, I guess, and saw the blue hair and just said, "Hey, you're definitely a hiker. Do you want to hang out with us?" They are all first timers, which was a unique perspective for me. It was weird being the most experienced person in the group. Last year on the AT, it was my first hike. I didn't know anything. And then on the Arizona Trail, I was with real veterans. So I was still very much the rookie. But then talking to these guys yesterday, it's a weird perspective, like I said. Today, I'm going to do 24 miles. And then moving forward, tomorrow morning, I should stop into Warner Springs, get breakfast, and do around 30. And then the following day, into Paradise Valley Cafe for lunch, and another 30. And then it'll be an easy 20 into Idlewild. So that's my current goal. Additionally, I have 2/3 of a really good pizza in my pack right now. I kind of feel bad. That Jenna girl caught a shuttle out with me this morning, and she was telling me that her plan was to try to keep up with me for the first 3 hours of the day. Within the first minute of being out of the car, she realized it was a bad idea and it wasn't going to happen. But she'd also commented on how she wants to try to push her comfort level. In addition to pushing bigger mileage out here, she said she really wants to try to camp alone. So best of luck to her, I guess. Well, I guess I never talked about what was in that little gift package I got from Jolly. First off, these sleeves, which obviously are meant to go with this shirt. Thank you for that. He also sent me a town t-shirt, a super lightweight town t-shirt that They're prototyping right now. He wore his through the Arizona Trail, but he wants kind of a real litmus test to see if it's going to be durable enough to withstand an entire through hike. So he just sent me one to try out. So I wore that in town yesterday. It's insanely comfortable and it weighs 2 ounces. Again, Jolly, if for some reason you're actually watching these videos, dude, thank you so much. I will definitely be getting plenty of use out of both. So the downside is I've only had one view, essentially, to show you guys all day. But the positive side is it's a great view. Well, just stopped for lunch at a fantastic water cache. While I was there, another hiker came down. I really wish I remembered his name. I know the word rock was in there. I need to stop being an awkward idiot and just say, hey man, what was your name again? I forgot. But that's what happens when you're anxious about things. Awesome guy. Gave me some starbursts. Pretty sick. Also met the gentleman who maintains the cache. He came up there, spoke to him for a few minutes. Retired Marine. If you're watching, thank you, sir, again. That was a phenomenal little place for a lunch. Had a couple of slices of pizza, drank a couple liters of water. Now we're back off. And I gotta decide whether I'm gonna do 10 more miles or 15 more miles. I guess I'll decide when I get to 10. Today has been absolutely incredible hiking. The terrain is just perfect. It's just kind of rolly up and down. Never any steep anything. Admittedly, it's been pretty hot, but I've been drinking plenty of water. I think I'm on my 6th liter right now. I have put electrolytes in a couple of them, and I will do so again when I get to the water in about a mile and a half. But before that, we're gonna have our first really big milestone. Yes, you're right. 100 miles on day 4 is crazy. For comparison, I hit 100 on day 7 on the Arizona Trail and day 8 on the Appalachian Trail. So if you want to know what trail legs look like, everyone, that's it. Here's a fun little note for you. While sitting in my hotel this morning, I ordered a pair of shoes to be delivered to Idlewild, which is 102 miles north of Julian, where I was this morning. I'm projected to beat the Amazon delivery driver by 2 days. Figure that one out. This is such a weird biome shift. Well, I'm about 2 miles from Warner Springs, which is where I want to be for breakfast at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So, probably just time to start looking for a place to call home for the night. Well, good morning. Just barely. It is a late start today. It is after 10 o'clock, like 10:01, and I'm just getting started. The extra mileage I did yesterday set me up where I was basically sitting outside of Warner Springs when I camped last night. So when I woke up this morning, I just hung out until 7 o'clock when the community center opened, where they have a bunch of stuff for hikers. Laundry, well, they have a big sink where you can do a little sink laundry and hang dry your stuff on the fence. They had showers, they had snacks, some resupply stuff. Anyway, with the extremely late start, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do 30 miles today. That would be silly. So I think I'm going to just aim for my original target for today, which is only going to be, I think, 22, because I did 8 extra yesterday. So I'm going to get to that 22 spot. As per usual, it's going to be dependent on what time I get there. If it's after 6, I'll stop. If it's between 4 and 6, which is probably what's going to be, I'll have to just make a judgment call when I get there.
Up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Too busy listening to my audiobook. I just walked a quarter mile past the water source where I'm taking lunch. Damn it.
This has been an intense climb. Just all day has been up. Like usually gradually. But coming out of that water, whew, it's just been hard, steep, up. Well, we seem to have hit the top, which is nice. Now we're just kind of rolling along at this level for the next, 4 miles, I think, till we get to the water tank at Mike's place. So I'll check back in on you then. This is a much better spot for a break than that last water source was, so I'm gonna sit here for a little bit. It is windy now. Like 5 more miles to go. It is 5 o'clock, so that's kind of, I won't be getting into camp till probably 7:30, but whatever. Gotta do what you gotta do, right? You guys would be proud of me. I actually looked ahead at the water and did notice that the next water source is in about 13 miles. So I'm packing out a little extra. just so I don't have to really worry about it. It just won't be a concern at all. You can see the water tank from here. That must be an amazing sight for Sobos. Well, the tent site I was aiming for was listed as big enough for 4 tents. And when I showed up, there were 7 other hikers sitting there. So that was full. Now, I just walk until I find a suitable place. On a positive note, these are bonus miles. Anything I can do to make tomorrow easier is going to be better. And 1 minute later, nailed it. Good morning. Welcome to day 6. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm getting maybe sick, leaning towards allergies. But if I'm getting a cold, that sucks, but so be it. Plan for today. I have about 17 miles until I get to the Paradise Valley Cafe, which some people on Far Out claim is the best burger on the trail. After that, I have about 45 miles to Idlewild. Nope, that's right now. I'll have 30 miles to Idlewild. So I'm gonna try to do another 10 after PVC today, leaving 20 into Idlewild tomorrow, which should let me get there early afternoon. And then I get to take a 0 and relax in Idlewild the next day. As far as videos, I typically like to have my weeks, quote unquote, be from Sunday to Saturday. So I think today is going to be the last day of week 1, even though it's only 6 days. And then starting next week, I'll be on the typical Sunday to Saturday schedule. Oh, and a quick note about food. I don't have any. My food bag has nothing in it but coffee, electrolytes, a Talenti jar, and a spoon. So, I'm gonna be hitting Paradise Valley Cafe for a late lunch today. For some reason, I thought I could resupply for a day out of there. Not the case. So I'm gonna just eat myself sickly full at lunch. And then I'm probably gonna just order a second meal and kind of pack that out for dinner tonight / breakfast tomorrow. Well, it's 7:30 in the morning, and I can already tell it's going to be an extremely hot day. Not to mention, there's not a hint of a breeze, like, at all. It's supposed to be like this for a handful of days. Be taking at least 1, possibly 2 zeros, depending on when my shoes show up. So, I'll be hanging out during the heat wave. Hey, you guys remember 4 days ago when I was borderline hypothermic up on Mount Laguna? Can we have a happy medium, please?
So I was reading comments on Far Out about this water source. We're talking about how nasty it was. The top comment even said, I drank it 2 days ago, haven't died yet. That's a good sign. But then right under that was someone who said, if you've done the AZT or CDT, you're gonna recognize this as pristine H2O. So what's the verdict? It's fine. It was a little yellow, filtered clear. You add some electrolytes to it, can't tell the difference. One more hour. It's hot. I'm definitely getting milkshake this time. Food.
Well, I just stopped at Paradise Valley Cafe where I had a vanilla milkshake. I think 6 cups of tea, 6 cups of water. I don't know how all that fit in my stomach by itself. And then a burger and some fries. Chicken sandwich to go, which also came with fries. Hopefully that's enough food to get me to Idlewild. I think I can officially now say that I am starting the ascent up Mount San Jacinto. Tomorrow when I get to the turnoff for Idlewild, I'm gonna be at a little over 8,000 feet, and right now I'm at like 5,000. So not a ton, but we'll be going up. Second note, far less important, is that I just noticed that my underwear inside out really isn't important at all. But it is interesting because I've had them on for 75 miles and I'm just now noticing that they're inside out. Technically, I could just flip them and keep wearing them, right? I think I'm calling an audible. I'm like 2 miles before where I wanted to stop, but there's a really cool camp spot right there that I really think I'm gonna take. I mean, I'm not one for quitting early usually, but I mean, look at this. I think I'm gonna get a nice sunset right there too. Nasty. Yes, that's just dirt. Well, this seems like a good time to say goodbye for the week. A lot of miles. A very aggressive first week. Probably going to be slowing it down a little bit next week. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I don't really know what's ahead. I know tomorrow I'll be going into Idlewild. And then a 0 Monday and possibly a 0 Tuesday. Yeah, there's going to be a lot less hiking next week, but we got a good start. We got to see a lot of cool stuff. Got to meet a lot of cool people, and this traveling solo thing is very, very different, but I'm enjoying it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, thank you so much for hanging out and watching the thing. Hopefully I can keep these things entertaining for you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.